Hello everyone, JSGC here, and we are here for the first Premier League match of the 2019-20 season, first preview for Manchester City, an away match in London against West Ham. So I'm going to be talking about our oppositions, talking about Manchester City's latest team news, what I think, how the game will go and what I think will happen during the game, and also a team prediction, and we'll draw up some conclusions from there. So you've got that to look forward to. Don't forget, if you're new around here, press that red button, subscribe, press the bell, put your push notifications on. Go and check out my social media if you so wish, links in description and popping up on screen. Don't forget also, leave your thoughts in the comments below and leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video. So we're going to crack on with this video first, and we're going to be speaking about our oppositions first, West Ham. Now, I did want some opinions from opposition fans. Trying to get hold of some fans and get people to do videos and contribute to my videos is actually harder than I first thought. So yeah, any help towards that would be much appreciated for future videos, but instead you've got me previewing West Ham instead for you. But yeah, so I've been doing some digging. First up, details on Fabianski. He was apparently going to be injured for this game, but now he's expected to start, so there's no worries there for a goalkeeper for West Ham. Mark Noble, though, is out injured for this game. Of course, he did start and score in the pre-season match with Manchester City and West Ham over in China when we faced them back in July, so he's not going to be featuring in this game. Looking at West Ham's new signings, you've got a player called Ajeti, who's a striker they brought in from Basel, who may feature. I think they signed him for roughly around £8 million. Signed another player called Pablo Fornals. He's an attacking central midfielder, and he may well start with Mark Noble not being able to feature, so he might be cutting in and playing in and around the striker. And they've also brought him in from Villarreal, and they've also brought in another player from Frankfurt, a striker called Sebastian Haller. He's their new striker. They signed him for £36 million. He also signed that other player I was mentioning, Fornals, for £25 million. So West Ham have spent quite a bit this summer. Their striker, Haller, that they brought in, scored 19 goals last season for Frankfurt. I'd be a little bit more concerned if they brought in Jovic from Frankfurt. He went to Real Madrid instead, so they've got Haller instead. But still a lot for Manchester City to think about here with these new players, of course, going alongside other players like Felipe Anderson that City are going to have to be careful of. Got good players at the back too. They've got good players sitting in front of the defence. Declan Rice, a player that City have been linked with previously. You've got players like Creswell, Fredericks, Diop as well, Pablo Zabaleta, just to name just a few. You've got Fabianski in goal too for Manchester City to contain with. To me, danger man comes in the form of Felipe Anderson, a player that's used to the Premier League, knows what he's doing. You've got some new players, a bit unpredictable at the start of the season, not too sure what to expect from the game and how West Ham are going to take on this game. One thing I will be certain of, though, is City will just take things in their stride and look to just continue where they left off from last season. So it's very important here for West Ham to be very tight at the back. Going to have to keep Manchester City away from their goal and scoring goals, because City, of course, will always look to score goals and look to dominate their opposition that way, as you saw in the pre-season match. Even when West Ham pegged Manchester City back, still end up winning the game 4-1. City have a lot of quality, and have a lot of quality when going forward, so it's something for West Ham to be wary of, and they're going to have to be very careful and very tight at the back, kind of not take too many risks in coming forward. But Pellegrini's an attacking manager, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Going to be a difficult away game this for Manchester City. West Ham will be up for it, first game of the season. There's new hope there, always is at the start of the season. You always got your expectations are high, your hopes high. As the season goes on, all your hope kind of just drains away from you. I know before Man City's takeover, being a City supporter, how your hope at the start of the season just slowly just drains away throughout the season. It starts grinding down, but still, anything can happen start of the season. There'll probably be one or two shocks in the Premier League this week. Hoping here City will not be one of them. Pep is a sensible man, knows what to expect, and doesn't take anything for granted, which is good. We've also got Manuel Pellegrini, West Ham's manager, who's been former Manchester City manager, of course, a charming man. He likes to score, he likes to attack, likes to get things going. So again, I might look here to attack Manchester City. We might be in for an entertaining both teams to score game here. On the other hand, it will suit Manchester City with the space. West Ham's pitch is a decent sized pitch. City's dominating possession and passing game will suit the pitch. Of course, Liverpool on that big Wembley pitch managed to have more possession, so I'm going to see if City have tried to just hold on to the ball a little bit better, because the passing completion rate weren't as high as what you'd expect from City at around 80%. That's normally around 90%. It was a pre-season game. This is now a competitive Premier League game. City will look to just inject that little bit of quality, that little bit of urgency into the team, and look to build on it from there. Like I said, with City, I'm expecting us to dominate possession. I'm looking for City to try and attack West Ham from the off. City like to create opportunities. 1 or 2 good opportunities normally come about in the first 10-15 minutes. City, the top goal scorers last season in scoring in the first 10 or 15 minutes. I'm looking to get ahead of their opponents and put them under pressure early on. And City, I imagine, will look to do the same as of this season, as of this game too. City got a lot of momentum going into this game. Unbeaten during pre-season. Unbeaten during the Premier League as of last season since the away loss against Newcastle back in the back end of January. Won the last 14 Premier League games in a row. Managed to fend off Liverpool, of course, to win the Premier League title. 97 points for Liverpool, 98 points for Manchester City, where they've got the current record for the longest winning streak in the Premier League at 18 games. We're at 14. We know 4 wins to start the season will see us equal it. 5 wins will see us better that record. So City still looking to break more records even going into the new season. I'm excited for this season. Why wouldn't I be? You know what I mean? Lots to look forward to. City managed to add a little bit of quality, and it'll be interesting to see where we go, in particular with this game. Now, team news for Manchester City. No Benjamin Mendy. He's only just returned back from Manchester from Barcelona working on his fitness, so I don't think we'll have Mendy back for a fair few weeks. No Leroy Sané's just picked up an ACL injury, unfortunately. He's going to be out for months, so he won't be available, you won't think, before Christmas for Manchester City. And Laporte trains, but I'm not too sure if he's going to feature in this game or not. To me, we didn't look too bad at the back. It's the last 10 minutes or so we started to look a bit shaky with Stones and Otamendi. But other than that, we looked quite comfortable up until Liverpool decided to put us under pressure. So it'll be interesting to see if City risk Laporte or not. Considering we've already got a serious injury to Sane, no sign of when Mendy's coming back. Would you risk playing Laporte when we've got 2 fit players that have already gone and got a competitive game under their belt with Stones and Otamendi? I'll leave that for you to decide in the comments below. Be interesting to see if we go with Ederson or Bravo. Bravo's played all pre-season, even played in the Community Shield last week and had a good game. Ederson's only just returned back from Brazil duties and his holidays, so he's only been in pre-season training with Manchester City for 2 weeks or so. So I suspect that City will probably go with Ederson for this game. He's our first choice goalkeeper, but it wouldn't surprise me if we did go with Bravo because of the more game time that he's gotten, so he's more up with match sharpness. But I reckon we'll probably go with Ederson for this game. We could see Premier League debuts. Joao Cancelo, new signing for Manchester City, could make his debut. Could see Angelino feature. I'm expecting Rordi probably to start in this game. Interesting to see up front. Will it be Aguero? Will it be Jesus? And it'll also be nice to see if we have Mahrez back in the squad. Because with Sane injury, we're going to need more cover on the wings. So Mahrez, I'm expecting for the next few months to be getting a lot more minutes and a lot more starts with Manchester City. But of course, he's taken some eye medication whilst on international duty with Algeria, and so there was concerns over drug tests and stuff like that as to whether it was legal or not and whether he could play. That's why he weren't in the squad for the Community Shield. Whether City are going to deem him okay to go and feature in the squad and play in this game, I do not know, so we'll have to wait and see with Riyad Mahrez, but it will be a welcome boost to have Mahrez back sooner rather than later. Terms for this game, I don't think it'll be a classic. First game of the season. Not all the players are here with their match sharpness from both teams. I think Manchester City's got enough firepower in their squad to win this game. Slowly but surely, we've seen more and more of our squad return from international duty and their holiday. So our squad's starting to look very fresh, very new, injection of quality, looking very strong. I'm going to go for a Manchester City win here. 3-1. I think it will be both teams to score. Both teams like to attack, and I do have a little bit of a concern with Manchester City's defence because we've not added much quality at the back in terms of centre-backs and stuff, and potentially if Laporte doesn't start, then always you're on the back foot because Laporte is an absolutely excellent central defender. So yeah, West Ham, they'll be happy with anything from the game here. For them to get something from the game, they're going to have to be tight at the back. They're going to need a good quality performance here. They're going to need things to go right. Might need a little bit of luck here or there, but they're going to need to do things properly. Put Manchester City under pressure. City score first. They're going to have to respond. Can't afford to go 2-0 down and City get a 2-goal cushion because City will cruise this game if that does end up happening. City sometimes go 2-0 up, they get a goal back, it kicks us back into action. That's where we end up winning games 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. Sometimes City are relentless. Start of the season think, oh, let's send a statement out here, let's carry on scoring. And sometimes we just sit on a 1-0 lead. So it's important if West Ham, if we do get ahead, West Ham need to try and put us under pressure and peg us back. They'll be looking, of course, to try and score first here and put us under pressure. Of course, for this game, VAR is now in use for all Premier League games this season, so it'll be the first time that both clubs have had VAR in a Premier League game. So any decisions, offsides, handballs, things like that, we've had it in the Champions League, of course, with lots of talking points. So anything that's a bit dubious will be looked at. Hopefully there'll be replays on the screens for everyone to be able to see and know what's happening, so there's no uncertainty. I do have my fears with Premier League officiating having hold of VAR too, that they make the wrong decisions to start with and then stick through stubbornness with their wrong decisions, which when you've got camera action there, I mean, things like goal line technologies work wonders, that I'm sure they'll find a way of making a mess of this game with VAR and other games in the future. So yeah, that is my fear. So I'm going to pop up my team prediction now quickly. Kind of predictable. Go for Ederson in goal, Walker right back, Zinchenko left back. Cancelo's only just signed, only done a couple of training sessions with City. Walker didn't have a bad game against Liverpool, good goal line clearance. Gone with him, gone with Zinchenko too, because he got the nod against Liverpool. I suspect he'll be Manchester City's left back until Mendy comes back, and Angelino will just be used when Zinchenko needs a rest. Gone with Stones and Otamendi. We could well see Laporte, could be wrong with this and see Stones and Laporte, or Otamendi and Laporte, but I've just gone with Stones and Laporte because it's what we went with in the Community Shield. Rordi, De Bruyne, David Silva. I don't think that needs any mentioning there. It's just a fantastic midfield. Really happy with that midfield. Going with Bernardo Silva and Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus up front. Might be some concerns over Aguero and Jesus. If Mahrez is fit to start, he might start. So we might see Bernardo Silva on the right, Mahrez on the left, and Sterling up front. That's something to consider. But I've gone with Bernardo Silva, Sterling, and Jesus. But like I said, I'm hoping to have Mahrez back quite soon because we're going to need some cover for the wingers, Sane having such a serious injury. So there's my team prediction and score prediction. We'd love to know your team and score prediction in the comments below. Remember this game, 12:30 PM British summertime kickoff. If you're in the UK, it is live on BT Sports. If you can't get to the stadium, if you can, you already know the details of the game. It's at London Stadium, West Ham away, first away game of the season, first game in the Premier League season for Manchester City, and to be honest, it is really nice to be back talking about football. We'll have the analysis up after the game tomorrow for you to look forward to, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you press that red button, subscribe, press the bell, put your push notifications on. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Always interested in what you have to say, your score and team prediction, how you think the game will go. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. Go and check out my social media links, which you can find in description below and popping up on screen too, if you want to go and check out my Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you all again for the next video, which will be that analysis up tomorrow after the game. Fingers crossed it goes well and we pick up our first 3 points of the season and continue that winning momentum that we had from last season and through pre-season. So it's been JSGC. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.